Welcome to my channel. Every year, millions of us sit down armed with the best of intentions to write our New Year's resolutions. Lose weight, save more money, learn a new skill. These promises represent hope for a better version of ourselves. But here's the hard truth. By February, most of these resolutions will have fallen by the wayside. Why does this happen? To understand, we need to dive into the psychology behind resolutions and why so many of them fail. Let's start with the basics. A resolution is more than just a goal. It's a commitment to change a behavior or achieve something meaningful. Resolutions are important because they give us a sense of purpose and direction. They're like a map for self-improvement. But why do we struggle to follow through? The answer lies in how our brains work. Our brains are fascinating machines, but they aren't always on our side when it comes to change. For starters, forming new habits, like going to the gym regularly or quitting sugar, requires rewiring our neural pathways. This process is both challenging and time-consuming. Your brain loves familiarity. It thrives on routines because they're energy efficient. Changing those routines takes conscious effort and drains your mental energy. Here's the kicker. Motivation, while it feels powerful, isn't enough to sustain this effort. Think of motivation like a match. It burns brightly, but quickly fizzles out. To keep a resolution alive, you need more than motivation. You need systems and strategies. Another psychological barrier is willpower depletion. Willpower is like a muscle. It gets tired when overused. Every time you make a decision, big or small, you use a little bit of your mental energy. This is called decision fatigue, and it's why you're more likely to skip the gym or break your diet at the end of a long day. When we rely solely on willpower to stick to our resolutions, we set ourselves up for failure. So what's the solution? It all comes down to building habits. Unlike resolutions, which are often tied to specific outcomes, habits are focused on the process. For example, instead of saying, "I want to lose 20 pounds, commit to the habit of exercising for 30 minutes 3 times a week. Habits take the pressure off willpower because they eventually become automatic. This brings us to another important point. Start small. One reason resolutions fail is that we aim too high too fast. Your brain loves small wins. They release dopamine, the feel-good chemical, which reinforces your efforts. By starting with small, achievable goals, you build momentum and confidence over time. For instance, if your goal is to read more books this year, start with a single page a day. Over time, that small habit can grow into a major transformation. It's also important to stay flexible. Life happens and unexpected challenges can throw you off track. Instead of abandoning your resolution entirely, adapt it to fit your current situation. Remember, progress is better than perfection. So what's the takeaway? Resolutions fail because we often rely too much on fleeting motivation and undervalue the power of habits. To succeed, start small, focus on building momentum, and give yourself the grace to adapt along the way. Change is a journey, not a sprint. And remember, every small step forward is a victory worth celebrating. This year, let's rewrite the story of failed resolutions. Not with unrealistic expectations or sheer willpower, but with smart strategies, consistent effort, and an understanding of how our brains really work. In my next video in this essential series, I will explain why 80% of New Year resolutions fail by February. Click on the link to watch right now. Here's to your success in making every year better, full of lasting change.